my extreme pleasure to introduce to you for the first time at Days of the Dead, Mr. Damien Leone! All right, gentlemen. How are we doing today?
Good, how are you doing?
Fabulous.
I actually slept last night, so actually good for once.
Yeah, you got that whole 3 hours. Woo! All right. So I guess my first question, let's just tell the audience, what your role is, Damien, with the film, and how you became involved with Terrifier.
So I'm the writer, director, special makeup effects artist on Terrifier. Let's see, I created Art the Clown back in about 2005 in my first short horror film. So he was just this little secondary supporting character that's in the opening of the film. He abducts this woman and then he just hands her over to this satanic cult. And that's it. And the rest is just demons and stuff. And then when I was showing the movie to people, everyone's like, yeah, it's cool, but my God, that clown is like unbelievable. You gotta do something else with him. Like make another short film that just focuses, on him. So that's what I did, and I just kept going from there. So I made a short film with him, and then that got some really cool responses and stuff. And then it's like the next natural progression is to make a feature. But it took a long time to get from there to here.
Well, it sounds kind of like a progression of Sling Blade. Like a little short film, yeah, it's a great big ass blockbuster. Great.
Yeah. Another Thornton involved with that too.
What's that?
Billy Bob Thornton.
Another Thornton. It's a great day for the Thornton family. All right, so David, how about you? How did you get involved with Terrifier?
I just randomly came across the audition notice for it. It was on a website for actors, and I was in the middle of like a lull where I had taken a few months off just to audition. I was doing a lot of musical theater stuff, and this came along, and I was like, well, they were looking for a tall, skinny guy to play someone that, someone that had like, clowning or physical comedy experience with a quote-unquote role of a lifetime. And I'm like, that sounds like me. So I told my agents to submit me, and the rest is history.
So the first time, actually, let me ask this before I ask that. How long did it take for them to do the whole art makeup, or did you do that?
Too long.
Still does.
Yeah. It originally took about, 3.5, 4 hours, sometimes more, because he would have to he was doing my makeup for me, and so he would sometimes have to go set up a shot, and come back and do a little bit more, and then go direct, and come back and do more. So, I mean, I think there were a few nights where I was in that chair for about 8 hours, and then finally got out, and then I had to film for the rest of the night. So, but we've got it down to about 2.5 hours now, so we're getting down to assignments.
So, do you remember your thoughts, your feelings, the very first time you saw yourself in art makeup? How was that?
Yeah, I loved it. I was like, this is awesome. This one, I went in for a makeup test, also in our producer's bathroom and stuff like that. And I was just kind of sat in the mirror and just made faces for a while. It was fun. And the doorbell rings. I'm like, David, you should go answer that. It's the pizza delivery guy. I'm like, okay. I open the door, and the guy's like, what the?
I don't know, we got a bunch of free pizzas, just drop it right in.
It was funny, it's like, whoa. I just kind of stare at him, it's like,
All right, so not counting each other, did you have a particular cast or crew member that you were particularly fond of, or that was your favorite to work with?
That's a hard one, because everybody was so much fun. I mean, I would say, all three of the girls were awesome, but I think the one I got closest to was Samantha, that plays Victoria, and the girl with eating on faces at the end. Like our personalities, the two of us were just joking around so much on set. She took so many videos of me just being a goof on set. There's this video somewhere of me spoofing Adele's Hello while I'm wearing the wig and the boobs.
Damien, I'm going to need you to do me a favor. I'm going to need to see that.
We got a lot of stuff that I did not want to put in the behind the scenes, because I think it would just destroy the illusion of Art the Clown forever.
Oh no, we don't need to see behind the scenes. I don't need to see that.
It was fun.
I mean, Dave, no one believes it, but Dave is just such a goofball on set and everything, and he's the most fun. And because the movie's so intense, and he could switch it on and off in a moment. So But it's a lot of fun, and Dave's obviously, my favorite, 'cause I spend the most time with him in the makeup chair for hours, and then, so it's fun, and we got along really well.
So not counting him.
Not counting him. Yeah, we got along great with everybody. Everybody was fantastic, but yeah, I'm probably the closest with Sam as well. I mean, she's the coolest, and she's going to be back in the sequel, so that's really fun.
Or did you reveal something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so actually before I start asking questions about the movie itself, has everybody in here seen Terrifier? Is there anybody who hasn't seen Terrifier that's like, don't ruin it, Bean?
Get out.
Yeah, because I do have a couple of questions that I've got to ask, because I got to know myself. Because here's the thing, when I saw Terrifier, I watched Terrifier and immediately started watching it a second time. Because, you guys know, the ones that have seen it, you guys know why, because of the lineage of it. I was like, holy shit, this is like, I haven't had a movie do that to me since Memento. I don't know if you guys have seen Memento. That's
Such a good movie.
Oh, God, that movie, I mean, I spent 3 days trying to figure out how to live life after seeing that movie. So I guess, without going too deep into actually what happened in the film, there's one particular scene where Art's riding a little bicycle in a circle around. Was that a homage to Billy from Saw, or was that just like, hey, we'll do my own shit, fuck Billy?
No, that had nothing to do with Saw, honestly. I just thought that would be weird and creepy to have him running around.
Oh, no, it was weird and creepy, but like the last time I seen somebody running around on a tricycle being weird and creepy was Billy.
Yeah. I just wanted him, just fucking with people through the whole movie. Like, how intense, things get, he always takes time to just keep fucking with people.
No matter how bad he gets into it, he has time to flip somebody off.
That was not in the script. And so, I had in that scene, so what he's talking about, he gives Samantha the finger as she stabs him in the foot with the spike. So I yelled cut, and the camera was still rolling, and Sam just was like walking back toward Dave, and he just gave her the finger, and everybody laughed on set. And so I'm editing the movie, and I saw that in the footage, and I'm like, oh, if everybody's laughing here, I still had that little moment, maybe we'll get a laugh in the movie.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, and it's not something I would ever have written, because it's just so obvious and on the nose, and just but I'm like, oh, let's try it. Especially at that moment in the movie, we could have used a little more levity at that point, so it worked.
Happy
accident.
So I know a lot of actors that won't watch their own movies. You obviously have watched Terrifier post-production, right?
Yeah.
All right. I guess my question is, what were your thoughts the first time you watched the film? Did you expect it to kind of be like the cult blow-up it is?
I mean, no, I don't know. But at the same time, I saw it the first time at Lincoln Center. We did a premiere, so that place was standing room only. It was amazing to turn out for the thing. But I hate watching myself on the film. I'm my worst critic, and I'm sitting there oh, damn, this is good. I'm not hating myself. Oh my God, what happened? It was really cool though. It was a really cool experience.
So in watching the film, did you ever make any notices, nuances from Art? Yeah, that's a little more me than him.
I maybe some in there. Yeah, I definitely put a lot of myself into Art too. Because I like to joke around and stuff But the one part that I noticed when I was watching, where I was critical of, was I call it my Plan 9 from outer space moment. The film, where it's where I'm choking Jenna's character, and that was my first night on set too, and I was not used to hurting people, and so I was trying to be very light and stuff, and I thought they were just filming from her face up, so I wasn't really full on choking her, and it looks like I'm force choking her, so I'm like, oh, that could be better. Oh man.
All right, so we briefly mentioned Terrifier 2. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Terrifier 2 hit its Indigo goal in 3 hours. 3 hours, guys. It was absolutely amazing to watch you guys posting on Facebook. Oh my God, look at this, what happened? You guys, tell me, what was that like? I mean, because I know it had to be unexpected. Terrifier 1's Indigo didn't.
Oh yeah, we didn't even come close to hitting our goal.
And then 2, it's just shut up and take my money!
Yeah, it's amazing. It's a testament to the fans, man. It really is. It's been all these cons, people have been telling us to, like, are you gonna asking us if we're gonna do it? Like, they just want to contribute, they want to help us out. And so it was just like a last minute thing. We were like, yeah, you know, we still needed money. Like, you know, we have money to make it, but it's still like super low budget. So, you know, I wrote this really, really crazy scene that's huge. And, you know, we just didn't have enough money to make it. So I'm like, you know, they want to help us out. Maybe we could get a couple extra bucks and make this happen and do it the right way. So we really weren't expecting much. And then to see that, I mean, we doubled the goal in a day. And so that was wild.
And, you know, this may be a little bit presumptuous, but that day, like I said, emotions were running high. It was super awesome watching it happen and unfold online. And at that time, I heard somebody say something, or I read a comment, and at first I just kind of blew it off as posh because, you know, people talk shit all the time. And it's really sat with me for the last week or two thinking about it. And this guy said, Terrifier could very well be the next big franchise. It would be this generation's Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. What are you guys' thoughts about that? I mean, are you willing to do 13 Terrifiers?
Sure. I mean, he's a fun character.
Cha-ching!
No, I love playing the character so much. That, like, as long as we can keep on coming up with fun stuff to do with him that's new and creative, sure. But like, that's pretty flattering. I'm humbled by that. That's wow.
Well, and I mean, you know, that's kind of really what we need right now in the horror industry is a good franchise to come out with something fresh. And, you know, everybody keeps talking about, oh, another remake of this one, blah, blah, blah. And then you give them something fresh, and they're like, well, Jason's not in this, you know, Freddy's not in this, what do we do? You know, so to see an idea like this come to life, it's so amazing to see that, yes, there are fresh ideas out there. We just got to open ourselves up to them. I guess something else I also wanted to know was, you know, you guys did a lot of practical effect in Terrifier, which, for me, I love that because the world seems to be going to CGI. And I was just talking to Bill and Sid about that, you know. Was it a personal choice to go with practical effect versus CGI? Was it a financial choice? And what's the reasoning behind not following the trend and going with full CGI?
I absolutely love practical effects. I'm a practical effects artist, and that's what got me into filmmaking. Tom Savini got me into filmmaking. So when I saw Screen Grades, which is his documentary when I was a kid, it just blew my mind, and that was the first time I saw how monsters are created. So, you know, till this day, I absolutely adore practicals. I hate, like, CGI blood drives me crazy. Like, it'd be the greatest thing. Like, you know, not to badmouth the Walking Dead, but like, you know, when you just see like the CGI blood splatter, it just takes me out of the show, you know, like, so. But CGI can be incredible sometimes, and we've actually used subtle visual effects in Terrifier that you probably wouldn't notice, but you can enhance your practicals, and I'm actually going to do that going into part 2 in some really creative ways, but the trick is not knowing we're doing it, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So, of all the effects that you did on the film, what was your favorite?
Oh, the hacksaw scene.
The hacksaw?
Yeah.
I kind of figured that. I mean, like, how much of a process was that? Did you have to do like a full body mold?
Yeah, we did a full body mold of Catherine. So we molded her face separately, her head, and her from the neck down separately. Which is a funny story because we actually encased her in that, and she got stuck in the silicone because we didn't put like I told her to put the release agent, you know, in the bathroom or with my assistant, you know. So she comes down and there's just globs. It's like Vaseline, like globs all over. And I'm like, that's too much. It's gonna ruin, you know, the silicone. We're not gonna get the detail and stuff like that. So just take a little bit off. So she took a little too much off. So the silicone stuck to her, all the like fine hairs on her body. It became a bit of an emergency. It took like an hour to slowly peel her out of that like a Band-Aid. So that was scary, but you know, she made it through. No cuts or anything.
No Brazilians ever again.
But we knew going into it that was going to be the scene that everybody talked about if we did it right. So we took the most time with that, and Yeah.
We also had another funny story with that whole scene too, was what we used for the intestines in it. Because we were originally supposed to shoot on one night, but our room ended up having some flood damage in it, so we couldn't film that night because we didn't want to electrocute everybody. And so what we used for intestines were like sausage Cajuns with like a fat on the side of it and stuff like that. And so our DP took them home with him, and we didn't film again for like 2 weeks or something like that. Well, George didn't think, and he forgot to put the intestines in the refrigerator. Yeah. So we opened them, and it's so good that we did not film that day with sound. Because you just hear everybody on the cruise, and because I'm cutting, and I accidentally cut into one of the intestines, and I could even smell it through all my makeup. I was like, whoa, oh no, it was just bad. You know, like the whole time George was behind the cameras, whoa, and I kept, oh no. I was like, this is your punishment.
We had a little day of the dead moment, sure.
All right, so I guess other than that scene, what's your favorite scene in the movie that you filmed? Or what was your favorite scene to film?
I would say the pizzeria scene.
Definitely pizza.
That's probably my favorite scene in the movie. I mean, I like the suspense. I like just building up art, seeing how playful, and you get a real sense of his personality in that one.
You see everything you need to about art in that scene. I think it just really sums them up really well. It sets the whole path for where the movie's going to go. And plus, it was a fun scene to film. I just got to play around a lot in that one. So yeah, definitely that scene. It's just like I like to play around. That's where Damien gave me a lot of liberty. Just like, let's just see what you come up with. I'm like, okay.
Awesome. So the one thing about Terrifier is it doesn't give you much, if any at all, backstory of who Art is, why he's there, what happened, why has he got body issues, what's going on with this dude. Is that something you guys want to cover in the next one, or is that just going to be a mystery that everybody kind of gets directed on the story about?
I mean, we don't want to give away where we're going, but I think it's our responsibility. I don't want to leave people completely in the dark and leave them hanging. I think we're going to slowly reveal and give some hints and some clues.
So by 13, we'll have all of that information.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, speaking of the mommy issues,
Who says he has mommy issues?
no, I said he had mommy issues. 'Cause, I was this close to thinking dude was about to start breastfeeding. Is that just me thinking dude's got mommy issues, or does Art have some sort of weird background mommy issues? Or should I feel free to tell me to shut up. I'm not saying I shouldn't.
No, honestly, like that scene, he's really just fucking with her, and that's.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if he was just messing with her, or if there was like some seated,
I mean, well, that's kind of just me fucking with the audience in that scene, because you think like he's giving up some information or something, or she's getting to him and she's like reaching him and he's like letting her touch her face, and you think like, it's like going into like pet a rabid dog. You don't know if he's going to attack her right there. And so just trying to sort of like subvert expectations and really not knowing where we're going with that scene. Then the next thing you see is he's wearing her.
Right. As you do.
All right, so
Wasn't the breast idea ever. It's great memories.
We've had the Freddy versus Jason. If you guys could film an Art versus film, what horror movie icon would you want Art to versus?
I would say Freddy, honestly.
I think Freddy. I think Freddy, because they both have that same sense of humor, so I think that just would be so entertaining. I always like to say Art is like a bastard child of Harpo Marx and Freddy Krueger. It would be funny seeing something like that.
That actually makes a lot of sense. So I tell you what, you guys mind if we go to the audience for some questions?
Sure.
You guys, anybody in the audience have a question they'd like to ask? Nobody? Because if not, I'm going to ask other questions that I want to know about. I don't want to make this a hairy game.
I was wondering, why you decided to resurrect Art at the end of the movie instead of just like saving that for the sequel, because we figured it was fine. Because you set up more that, Victoria's,
Yeah.
in there, which could have made the sequel anyway.
Yeah.
So I was wondering why you decided to go ahead and resurrect Art.
That's a good question. That was actually a last minute decision because in the script I didn't have that scene in it. It was just going to end with him, blowing his brains out. He was dead, and then we had the wraparound thing with Victoria. But then I'm like, man, if people really like this character, right? I think they're going to be pissed that they're like, well, that's it. He's never coming back, But so I wanted to leave that kind of cliffhanger and just know that he is going to come back and we are going to have a sequel because I definitely intended to do more with him.
I think it also kind of clears up a little bit with, Victoria's story too, because you see Art at the beginning of the film putting on the makeup, so he is already back.
Right.
Yeah, the wraps around, because that's the whole movie's a flashback.
Yeah. But it is cool, because especially how we're going into the sequel right now. So it was cool that we left off that way, and you'll see why in part two. The opening of the sequel is pretty insane.
Art uses a lot of different weapons in the film, and you guys used a gun, which is pretty unconventional in that kind of film. I was curious as to why you chose to use the gun.
Because I wanted to see, it was sort of like a challenge to myself. Again, because to me, Art is everything I loved in slashers growing up. He's like he's got traits of every slasher that I love when you think about it. Like the personality of Freddy, but he's also the silent killer like Jason and Michael Myers. He's savage like them. He's a little bit of the grittiness like Leatherface and stuff, like a little bit of everything in there. So there's so much that we love and gravitate toward already, but then it's like you don't want to just deliver the same thing that you've seen every time. So there's like little things I try and see if I could do something a little differently and would it be acceptable. So I was like, could we put a gun in the hands of a slasher like Jason or Freddy? I don't know. It would be weird in their hands, but maybe it would work for Art. So it was just a thing I wanted to try out. I actually did it a long time ago in All Hallows Eve. And in the short film Terrifier, before we even went into All Hallows Eve, he pulls out a gun and he shoots the guy while he's driving the car. And people loved that. They thought it was like so crazy, they didn't see it coming. And so I'm like, yeah, I like that. I like him having that in his bag of tricks. And the whole thing was to have him use it as a slasher would. So, when he kills Tara, he doesn't just shoot her once, he shoots her in the face 5 times, So he's all about facial mutilation and stuff. So it was cool. And we knew people were it was going to be polarizing, and especially that he used it to take out who you thought was going to be the final girl. We knew it was going to piss some people off and be kind of crazy. So, we wanted to do a Janet Leigh for sure.
That for me was possibly one of the biggest twists or kicks to goes the fact that, I start watching this movie and I'm thinking, oh yeah, this chick, she's the main character, They're like, bam, it's like, holy shit, she should have been on Game of Thrones.
We shot being heard.
Well, yeah, Terrifier is just really about setting up Art the Clown as a villain and just knowing you can never trust him. You never know what's going to happen. Always keep you on your toes. So he'll take out your main character.
You can never team evil.
Yeah.
Most of them. All right, we've got one way back in the back.
Get his exercise and make him swim.
Yeah, way back in the back. Could you run this?
Does Art only kill on Halloween night?
Oh, that's a good question. Yeah, he does. And you'll see why, in the sequel. Good question, buddy.
It's a very good question. All right, astute. No, dude. All right, how about another question?
Was the cat someone's personal pet?
That was Phil's friend had a brain. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, his cat. Yeah.
I never got to see the cat.
It's funny because we brought the cat in like months later for a little insert, so it was never on set. We built like a little corner of the room that the cat lady was in, and we just put the cat, and the cat never wanted to stand on it. So we only had like 3 seconds, and it would hop off every time.
As cats do.
What's the old saying, kids and animals?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, another question.
Mine's not so much a question, but kind of a request. We had you on the podcast, David, and you told some really, really great stories about you in the makeup
Yeah.
and some hijinks that happened during the filming process with the New Jersey's Finest, and then I think a couple of ladies.
Oh, so you wanted to hear that story?
Yeah, I thought that'd be kind of good to share with the room.
Yeah, that was an interesting night on set. So like, what he's referring to, there was this night where it was the night we were filming, I think it was when Jen was getting shot, and they're filming with her, and so I'm already in full costume and makeup, got blood. I mean, it's about, maybe 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning there in Trenton, New Jersey, which is not a very safe area that we were filming in. And I hear these 2 women having this argument on the street right below my window. And I'm like, well, I'm bored. I'm gonna go just watch this. This is like, because we had no TV there, so I was like, well, this is gonna be like Gary Springer, so I'm gonna go watch this, it's gonna be fun. So I go over there, and just watching them just, and all of a sudden, one of them just looks up and sees me in the window, and I forgot how I looked. And I was like, and they just see this clown up there with blood all over him, just waving at them, and they're running off. And I'm like, oh boy. About 10, 15 minutes later, Phil, our producer, Damien, and our DP, George, come in, like, Dave, they're all like just grinning from ear to ear, just so giddy about it. She's like, hey, we got someone here that wants to meet you. I'm like, oh, cool, who came out to see us? Because I know, like, at around that time, like, our producer was doing another film, and like, Tom Sizemore was in that film, so I was like, oh, maybe Tom Sizemore's here. Oh, how cool is this? So I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, there was like this garage that we're shooting in, and the garage door rolled down, and they're like, Dave, don't come out until we tell you. I'm like, okay, cool. So I hear, Dave, come out. I'm like, okay. I roll up the garage door, and I'm like coming up, and I just see like an army of New Jersey's finest in like full-on riot gear. And I just felt my butt just pucker. And it's like, I think I hit puberty again, and I just squeaked out, just like, and there's like silence for a few seconds, and I'm like, oh God. And then they just start laughing, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. They're like, yeah, be glad you didn't come out here first, because we would have shot you on sight. So I'm like, yes, I believe you. And the good thing was, too, that I didn't come out earlier, because that's where we had our porta potty was out there. And so, like, I can only imagine what that could have been like with me walking out. And it's like, oh, no. Let me go back in. But, yeah, so it was fun, because they're all, like, getting their pictures made with me. And there was this, like, one cop that was deathly afraid of clowns. He would not come anywhere near me. I'm like, dude, you got the rocket launcher on you. I think you're okay. He's like, no, man, no. Like, I think one of them even, we don't know if he was joking or not. I was like, hey, you guys need any bodies? We got one down at the station right now if you want to use it. We're like, no, it's okay. So yeah, that tells you a lot about that area where we're shooting in New Jersey. But that's how they respond.
They're going to let you borrow bodies.
Yeah. It's like, hey, we're going to show up with an army for a clown.
All right, any other questions?
Oh, I got one. All right, me and you kind of talked about this yesterday, whether or not you would put yourself in like a Hitchcockian role. Will we ever see him out of the makeup, and will we ever see you in one of the movies?
Yeah, I would do a little cameo, I guess, maybe like walking a couple of poodles in the background or something like that. Yeah, I would love to give him a little cameo out of makeup. I think that actually we have something for him in the sequel, possibly in the sequel.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
We'll see.
All right, anyone else?
Congratulations on making your donation.
Thanks.
Looking forward to seeing my name in the credits.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
So the extra amount, you said you were thinking about getting a full-time star in there. Any idea who you're thinking about?
Yeah, we can't say yeah. I'll say this though, it's a woman, it's not a man. Yeah.
He just narrowed it down by 50%.
What are the odds?
All right, so I guess one of the things that I would like to bring up, and once again, feel free to tell me shut up. Shut up. But over the last few days, I've heard you hit some pretty stellar imitations. Is that something that you do, like just to occupy yourself in time, or is
Yeah,
that
I
something
was very bored as a child.
So like, here's the thing, guys. I told Damien the other night, I was like, so you got this whole, Silent Bob, Art the Clown thing going on. It's like, you really want to throw the twist in. At the very end of Terrifier 2, you give Art one line, and when he says it, it sounds like Barney Fife.
Go fuck yourself! Harry! I'm not doing the butt over here. Yeah, that is the butt. Yeah, I do like over 200 voices and impersonations. I got started like doing all the voices from my Ninja Turtle figures back as a kid. My mom thought I was nuts. And was like, try your phone. Like, what's going on over here? Just doing voices, Mom.
Some people turn that into a career.
Yeah. Like I remember, like in college, like one day, like one of my neighbors was like, "How many people did you have in your room last night, man?" I'm like, "That was just me." Like, why? I thought you were having like a huge UN meeting because I was practicing all my dialects and stuff like that. I was like, "No, it was just me." And they're like, "Okay."
So, do you have a favorite or a go-to? Is that the
Oh
Barney?
God, Barney's one of them. I would say, I love doing Crank, like I just did on. And also I love to do, no. That's always been fun to do. And my dream, of course, is one day to be the voice of like Bugs Bunny or something like that. You know? You stinker. What a maroon. Oh, yeah, I do a lot of the Warner Brothers stuff. So I could do those all day.
How about you, Damien? You do any impersonations?
No, I do not.
I don't either.
This is what I do all the time on set.
I tend to be sober. That's about where I get with it.
They probably have so much footage of me just doing weird stuff like this. Just like I know that they have that footage of me on the bicycle singing "Bicycle Races for Herbert the Pervert." Bicycle, bicycle. Get over here, Chris. Not back around. What the hell?
All right, so let's talk about your acting career.
No.
No. Yeah, so, I mean, like, you get into acting. Did you have, like, any other, like, big roles before the Art the Clown thing? Or, like,
Well, I'm still doing it right now. I'm doing a fan-made series called Nightwing Escalation, where I play the Joker. So that's all kinds of fun playing Joker. He puts a smile on my face. I love doing that. But I just love Joker. He's my favorite villain of all time. But before that, I was touring with How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the musical, for 5 years. I was Grandpa Who in that. And I was Cindy Lou's grandfather. He was an old comedian. Just all the time. It was fun. But I was also the understudy for the Grinch in that. And our Grinch was the amazingly talented Stephen Carl, who you might know as Robbie Rotten from Lazy Town. He passed away last year from cancer, unfortunately. But he's the guy that helped really perfect my physical comedy a lot, because he was trained in clowning and everything like that. So he took me under his wing and really just fine-tuned my skills there. So that was a fun thing. But yeah, before that I was doing a lot of musical theater, especially musical theater and voiceover work. I've done a lot of voices for kids series on Super Wings. If your little ones watch Super Wings, a lot of the critters you'll see on super wings. Like if there's a cow mooing somewhere or a camel doing a fashion show, that's me. And I'm also on a new series that just came out on Hulu called The Bravest Night. It's for the little ones. I'm in a few episodes of that so far. They haven't aired some of the other episodes I've done yet, but like there's this one episode where it's got a giant, it's got all these goats and stuff like that, so I did all the voices for the goats. So I just went in there one day and just went, meh, and they paid me money. It was funny, like, and the goat falls out of the cloud and lands on the ground and starts eating, do the sound, I'm like, meh, meh. I'm like, this is my life now. That was cool, that was a fun job to do. Okay, poor Archie.
So I guess my next question would be for Damien. In your career as a director, writer, special effects guy, do you have any one particular piece of work other than Terrifier that you hold very dear to your heart that is like molded or shaped what you do in the rest of your show?
Oh, I'm very critical of everything that I make. It's really hard for me to watch anything. Like there's moments and things that I'm proud of, but I honestly, as a whole, the original Terrifier short film, I'm really proud of from start to finish. But yeah, I mean, I'm really happy with a lot of stuff in Terrifier. Like you said, the hacksaw scene, like the pizzeria scene, I'm really happy with that. But just always striving to be better and just looking ahead. Like so, right now I'm just really, really excited for the sequel. There's some really cool shit lined up for that one. I think it's gonna be pretty insane.
Speaking of the diner scene and really cool shit.
All over the walls.
I mean, chocolate pudding, melted chocolate. What the hell, you guys? I mean,
I think it was pudding, peanut butter, and bananas.
Yeah, that's it. We put some of the pizza dough in there too. Yeah, we're like trying to find what we could find in there to use what we could. But I'm like, we got creative with something. Like also like with the hand that you see me like when I take the knife to the hand, just whack when he's going for the phone. We were trying to figure out what to use for bones. We're like, let's just use pizza crust. Yeah, it's like we're just building things like we're stuffing like we're like wadding up things with pizza crust and inside of it. The hand. We only had one shot of that hand, so I was like, oh God, don't mess this up, David.
all right, so how many of you guys were here for karaoke on Friday night? Nobody? 1, 2, 3? Okay, so what you guys may not know is Dave is also an amazing karaoke artist, as well as, voiceovers and the acting stuff. You do great on the microphone singing, man.
Thank you. That's where I got my startups. I was a singer before I was an actor. I come from like a long line of musicians. My grandmother way back like I think it was late 30s, early 40s. It was right during the Depression. And there was like, I wish I could remember the name of the group. It was a very famous group at the time. They wanted her to be their lead singer and tour around the nation with them. And she turned them down because she had just met my grandfather and wanted to get married and have a kid. So I like to
Lucky you.
Yeah. But I'm like, I like to think, like I had to go over my grandmother's mantle in that regard. So, she was an amazing woman, very talented woman. She was a contralto, so she had like that Billie Holiday type of sound to her voice, like nice bluesy type of sound. So yeah, and some of my fondest memories of her singing to me as a kid, like Summertime. I love that song. She would sing that to me as a baby and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I come from a family musician, so that was always my thing. Singing church choirs every Sunday morning. God, Jake, those nerd songs.
A little bit of the church lady there, huh?
Isn't that special? Could be second?
All right, so on the topic of music, what type of music do you guys prefer? A particular genre, particular band, album? What you go to?
I love classic rock. It's probably my favorite. I'm actually a huge Fleetwood Mac fan. They're probably one of my top 3 favorite bands of all time. Led Zeppelin, yeah. Beatles.
Yeah, I'm big into Queen. I love Queen. Of course, a lot of rock as well. I mean, I grew up also on my parents' generation, really from like the 50s and 60s. So that's like that stuff's nostalgic because like anytime we went on family trips, I remember they had like all these cassette tapes. We used to put on the cassette player. So listen to Mamas and Papas and Beach Boys and Beatles and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm also a big musical theater nerd, so I love all that kind of stuff too. So.
Yeah, for the most part, you know, Days of the Dead, we're playing music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And, you know, it's usually rock or metal, you know, Friday, Saturday. I always open up Sunday morning, it's Motown Sunday. You know, because now I'm hungover and I'm not trying to listen to music.
Any yacht rock?
What's that?
Yacht rock?
Yacht rock.
Yacht rock? You know what yacht rock is?
No.
So it's soft rock, like Steely Dan.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yacht rock. Like,
Yacht
yeah, it's nothing beyond that.
Yes.
So I love that genre as well. Believe it or not, I like soft stuff because I guess it balances out the other shit that I do.
Right.
Also love my Disney too. I tear up some Disney, man. I had a great, it was like this one time, I was like this big event for karaoke. And I was like, it was a horror convention or something like that. And I was like, I don't know how they respond to it, but I'm going to do it. And I did like Be Our Guest. And it's like everybody went nuts over Be Our Guest. I'm like, really? Wow, okay, this is a cool crowd. I just figured like, what the hell is he doing? Sings Disney stuff with this thing. Be Our Guest. The mouse, you know, wins everybody over, I guess.
All right, so let's talk about movies then. Do you guys have a particular favorite genre of movies that you watch in your downtime, or what is your favorite movie? Let me ask that.
You go first.
Jaws is my favorite movie.
Jaws. That's a good one.
I think Jaws is a perfect movie. I think you can make an argument that it's, I think you can make a legit argument that it's the greatest movie ever made. I really do. But, yeah, horror is obviously my favorite. But I grew up watching everything, especially 80s action movies. I was watching like Commando, Rambo, First Blood Part 2. I grew up watching those. Beastmaster, Red Sonja when I was 3.
Beastmaster was such a good one.
Yeah.
That could crawl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watch everything. I watch everything from horror to rom-coms. I love to be entertained. So yeah, but I mean, especially comedies. I love comedies like Blazing Saddles and like Frankenstein and The Jerk are like my 3 favorite, I think, of all time. But I think of my all-time favorite movie would be Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That is like to me my perfect movie. That's got everything I love in it, and it's just it's like a movie that could never be made today and done right. I don't think, because you know everybody knew it was CG and everything like that. That was all hand-drawn animation, and they did so much great practical effects and the puppetry. It's just, and that's the movie that also got me into wanting to do film in the first place, because when it came out back in the 80s, they aired a special on TV. It was an hour-long special, and they explained how they made the movie. And that's the first time I'd ever seen how movies had been made before, and I thought that was amazing. But that's also where I learned about Mel Blanc, who did all the voices for Looney Tunes. And because that was the first time they ever had Warner Brothers and Disney work together on something. And I was like, oh wow, there's this one guy that does all these voices. That's amazing. And that's what really started getting me like when to learn how to do voices myself. So I like to think, you know, Roger Rabbit gave me, like, started me on this path.
Yeah, you mentioned Blazing Saddles. That's another movie that could never be made.
Oh no, God, I could never be made today. Oh no.
So, I mean, that's kind of in the era of today, you know, the way that people are. I mean, it's almost the fact that comedy has been comedy's been killed, because you can't. I mean, you got to be very careful as a comedian what you say, because if you make a wrong joke, say the wrong thing, and you get a group of people on you, then what's going to happen? Your career is going to go real fast. So, you know, that's one profession I do not envy right now in this state of affairs as comedians, because, I mean, that's it's a live and die by the microphone career, you know, with as touchy as people are. Hey, let me ask you guys, man. We were raised on South Park, Beavis and Butthead, Ren and Stimpy. How the fuck y'all get so offended so easy?
I don't know. It's probably wrong of me to say, but I got banned on Facebook today for a week. It wasn't even really me. It was with this rape case with this kid recently that got off for rape and took pictures of his victim and stuff like that. And that's because the judge was like, oh, he's a good Christian boy, he's an Eagle Scout, and bullcrap. And someone asked me, what would Art do? And I said, Art would, and I said, he'd kick him in the nads several times and take pictures with him. With his passed out. And that got me kicked off Facebook for a week. I'm like, Jesus, I got a heavier sentence than the rapist did. Jesus, this is where we are now. So that's the thing, it's like someone took offense to that. And that's the thing, it's like you got mad about me saying that, you're more upset about what I would say a fictional character would do to this guy than actually what that guy actually did to someone.
Right. It violates our community standards that
Yeah.
you say that, we're gonna post this picture in.
Yeah. Okay. So don't contact me on Facebook for a week. I won't be able to respond to you.
So guys, what we do is we just blow up his Facebook page and you can't say shit back to us.
Yeah, I'm son of a Oh no, now I'm gonna ask for it. I can't say anything. Ah, man.
Oh, that's when you're kind of like, well, David is too.
Yeah. There would be some weird stuff in there, like, I had his baby. No, you did not!
Well, gentlemen, here's what I will say. It's been an honor and pleasure hanging out with you guys this weekend, getting to know you, Damien. Not only are you a director, you're a hell of an actor, bro, because I was feeling bad, like, real shit, I was feeling bad. I thought like maybe I'd like corrupted this poor kid from New Jersey. Yeah, I mean, seriously, when I met this kid, he was on quiet, reserved, and, just seemed very shy, and I'm like, being me, and then, like, you guys leave, and I looked over at Felissa Rose, and I'm like, man, I think I just broke that dude. And she's like, what? I'm like, well, I mean, like, he just looked at me like, holy shit, am I in a safe place? And she goes, oh no, no, don't fall for that shit here.
No, the funny thing is, I realized this the other night, like when we're hanging out with you, it's like Damien and I, our personalities become each other's personalities when we drink. I become like very quiet and reserved, and he's like running around, and, woo! It's the funniest thing. It cracks me up. I'm like, it's like what? It's like Jekyll and Hyde for both of us.
Well, I really, really hope that we have you guys at another show. Please feel free to come back.
Yeah,
I would love to. Because, you guys have been stellar guests, and Dave, you've always got home here. So.
I love coming to Biggs. It's so much
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely a family affair. These are our family right here. You guys, if it weren't for you, we couldn't do what we do. So thank you guys as well. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Damien and David. Thank you.